So if you're watching this video, I sure hope you've already seen Emelia Perez. Otherwise, God, why would you now? This movie won several awards somehow, but also has managed to be one of the most transphobic, racist movies I've seen in a while. Today, I'm gonna give you a brief plot summary of this, as well as go over what drag queens love doing best, bingo. We made a bingo card when we watched this movie. And if I had to play bingo, you do too. God, thank you, Spaceboy, for providing any good music that we'll hear today, because everything else is trash. Hello and welcome back to my video. My name is Pix E Sticks, and the E stands for Emelia Perez. Did suck as bad as we thought. Today I'll be talking about Emelia Perez and doing a little bingo about it. I wanted to do a shout out to the lovely music in the background of today and future videos. Thank you Spaceboy and Tomb of Space for making the beat that will be in the background. He's really great working with Space. He always listens to requests and he is running a sale right now. Go check him out. I'm not sponsored by him, of course, but I think it's important to shout out friends for helping out people. I really appreciate all of the work he's done and the support he's given the channel and the music that is in the background today, which is the only good music we'll be hearing, mind you, because this movie is awful. This musical somehow won Best Song, Best Original Song, yet I guess in their case, technically, the song was the best in the movie. Was it the best song I've ever heard? No. But if the best song in the movie is kinda bad, God, what does the rest of that movie look like? Zoe Saldana won Best Supporting Actress of the Year, which is interesting to me because, again, she's hardly in this movie. Her character doesn't seem at all important to the plot of any of this movie. She is a lawyer named Rita who works in Mexico City, typically for cases about things that are less than savory. We see her leave a case and then go outside, deal with paparazzi, and then get kidnapped? She gets kidnapped, black bag over the head, the whole 9 yards, by the Mexican cartel leader Mantias, who wants to undergo gender-affirming surgery, not to escape from the police, which is something that they want to do, of course, but to affirm the gender that has always been felt on the inside. Great. We stan a trans icon. Is she really an icon, though? She's a drug cartel leader, has murdered hundreds of people for crimes. Rita agrees. She's in a van. It's not like she has much of a choice, and decides to go to several different doctors around the world to get the best affirming care she can. Rita goes to the most stereotypical places ever in the world to get surgery, plastic surgery of course. Bangkok, Thailand, where the beloved song La Vaginoplastia.
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about sex change operation.
I see.
Rita goes to Tel Aviv as well to talk about gender-affirming care. The doctor there is less than accepting and insists that the person on the inside will never be changed. You can change your gender, you can change how you look, but you'll always be the same person inside, which is a strange thing to be putting in a movie about trans acceptance. But we go with the Israeli doctor for some reason. Bangkok is never brought up again. Unnecessary, I guess. Manitas is married as well to Selena Gomez, who I styled my hair after today. I think I pull it off better than she does. What do you think? So they bring the Tel Aviv doctor all the way to Mexico City, change Manitas' gender, all of the surgeries, all at once. That doesn't make sense. That's not how that works. She'd also been on estrogen for several years, and her wife hadn't noticed. Pretty sure that's not how that works either, but who am I to combat a French director who is never, seemingly talk to a trans person ever, you know. Who am I to judge? I'm judging. Rita relocates the wife, Jessie, Selena Gomez, to Switzerland with the several children that she has with Manitas. They fake Manitas' death. You think the movie would be over? Half an hour in? There's a lot of movie left, unfortunately. And we have to deal with that. A couple years later, Rita is at a dinner party and meets another woman who's from about the same area of Mexico she's from. They strike up a conversation, everything's going well, and then it hits her that this is Manitas, now known as Emelia Perez. You didn't put that together? Like, it was really strange, but you know, okay. Emelia tells Rita that she really wants to have her kids back in her life. She really regrets not having her kids there. And so Rita agrees to get the children and Jessie from Switzerland, where they had settled down and been living a good life, and move them all the way to Mexico. Jessie is very upset by this. She didn't understand why she had to move to Switzerland in the first place. Her sister lives in America, and she thought, I could just move in with my sister. But they moved to Switzerland, and now she has to move from Switzerland to Mexico all over again. Readjust. Emelia pretends to be Manitas' aunt or cousin. A wealthy cousin. Wealthy cousin. The wealth is from, like, drug cartels? Crime? But okay. Jessie does not recognize Emelia, which I guess is good. That's interesting. And Jessie moves to Mexico to be back with her lover, who she says this about.
Hasta me duele la pinche vulva nada más de acordarme de ti.
It's not Emelia. His name is Gustavo. There's a whole song about it. It's something. So then, again, you'd think the movie would be kind of done by now, but no, there's still more. They are adjusting to life in Mexico. Emelia's buying the kids everything they could ever want, you know, being great. Rita and Emelia are out to eat for lunch, and they run into a woman who is handing out missing child posters. Her child had been missing for years, killed by the cartel. Emelia, just out of the blue, thinks, oh no, drug cartel's bad. People being missing, bad. I should help find them. And she starts a charity about finding missing people who had been killed by cartels. How many of them did she personally know where the bodies were? How many people did she kill? That's not discussed. This doesn't matter. One of the victims' wives shows up. Her name is Epiphany. That's her name, Epiphany. And she sits down with Emelia and is like, Emelia, what happened to my husband? And Emelia's worried, because she knows the husband's dead. And she tells Epiphany this, and Epiphany is very excited to hear this. Her husband was abusive. She had actually brought a knife with her to kill the husband if he was there. Emelia shows off her gun that she has, you know, in front of everybody, which is very normal. And then Epiphany and Emelia start a relationship together. Just flat out start a relationship together. No other conversation is had on screen. We don't see any chemistry, no build-up. They just start dating. Jessie's getting along with Gustavo again, you know, mwah, mwah. And she wants to move the children out of Emelia's house. You know, she wants to live on her own, you know, raise the children that are hers. Emelia gets really upset by this. Again, Jessie doesn't know that Emelia is the husband, the father of the children. And it just seems that Emelia is really attached to these kids in a way that Jessie doesn't understand. It doesn't make sense. Emelia threatens Gustavo, pays him a bunch of money to leave town. Get out of the way, leave my family alone, I'll pay you a ton of money, leave. And so naturally Gustavo says, okay, I'll take Jessie and the kids with, and I'll leave town. Plan backfired. Emelia freaks out. There's this whole thing. Emelia cuts off the money to the children, and Jessie leaves. Then Jessie and Gustavo kidnap Emelia and cut off her fingers, sending them to Rita. We just keep escalating. Emelia decides to tell Jessie who she is by reciting their wedding night and like just details that no person would know about their wedding night to Jessie as they're hiding during a police shootout. You know, the people that Emelia hired to come and get her. Why? Does she still work for the cartel? Is she still a cartel boss and we just don't know this? Okay. Jessie is confused and grappling with this new information, and her and Gustavo and Emelia have to leave. They put Emelia in the trunk of the car and they leave. Jessie wrestles with Gustavo for control of the car because Gustavo suggested they kill Emelia. Jessie doesn't want this to happen. They fight over the car, and then the car crashes and they die, all three of them, in a fiery car wreck. Rita, who throughout the movie had been talking about how she never had time for a family and never could settle down and now she's too old for kids, gets custody of the children. Emelia Perez's children? Those are Rita's now. And Epiphany. You may be wondering, what happened to Epiphany? All she does is make a statue of Emelia and parade through the city, talking about how wonderful Emelia was. Was she? Was she still in the cartel? We don't know. So Pix, what about this, bingo card that you've mentioned? Well, this is the bingo card that we had to begin with. This was the blank bingo card. You can see that we have things like actually funny and the deeply unfortunate Mexico filter, which is if you overlay something with yellow, you're in Mexico, obviously. Teardrop tattoo, tap dance, misandry, all these wonderful things. Here is the bingo card we had filled in. A lot of this. There's no tap dancing. There's no super bad anatomy. No teardrop tattoo, and no fentanyl. But otherwise, everything else was in this movie. There were licensed songs, bad accents that kept dropping, poor set design that just looked cheap. The set wasn't even, they never went to Mexico in real life, they filmed this all in France. Thank you, French director, who knew nothing about Mexican people or trans people. Thank you. Great. They ramp up into songs, there's HIPAA violations. This movie also won Oscars. Again, it won Zoe Saldana an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and El Mal won Best Song. Hence the jacket, I'm copying Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez in this outfit today. The song is not good. There is inappropriate touching. Zoe Saldana, gets all in herself, which is weird. They talk about the corruption of the people when Emelia is still possibly doing crime. What is this? Emelia is still basically a cartel boss. She's just as corrupt as everybody else in this room, but is a martyr because of her public service. That doesn't even outweigh the people that she killed. The trans representation in this movie is awful. They all are getting surgeries immediately. They talk about none of it. It seems just like a plot point. I will say, Manitas is played by the same actress who plays Emelia, which is great. Glad that we have that. Glad we have an actual trans woman playing a trans woman in a movie. But this is about the only thing that I can say positively about this movie. Carla Gascon is also just inherently very racist. She's made comments about Black people, about Muslim people. Just because she's trans, that doesn't excuse her for being racist and, deeply problematic in other ways. In a movie about Mexican people, there is only one Mexican actress, Epiphany. The actress who plays Epiphany is the Mexican actress in this movie. Carla Gascon is from Spain. Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez are not Mexican either. And so, again, why was this movie made? Zoe Saldana is not a stranger to controversy herself after getting backlash about her portrayal of Nina Simone in the biopic that was made recently. Her response to that and her response to the backlash from Emelia Perez has been eerily similar. Has she not learned anything? Does she know what she's talking about? I guess not. It is very important to hold our celebrities and actors accountable for their actions and make sure that they learn from those actions. Zoe Saldana doesn't seem to have learned from that, and I don't know if Carla Gascon has either. We'll just have to wait and see. People have talked about the representation in this movie being lacking, saying that the Spanish that is used is not inherently accurate, and it also seems to be more Google Translate or AI than actually for the Mexican people. However, famous people have backed this movie up. Again, it won Oscars. And Guillermo del Toro, a famous Spanish director, also said that he enjoyed the movie and thought it was great. I think we need to think about why people are saying that. Is it because this movie is actually good, or is it because people are afraid to speak out against poor representation just because it's representation? Just because this movie is about trans people, arguably, and has a trans actress in it, doesn't mean it is safe from getting critique. Many trans people have come out and talked about how awful this movie is, like Jessie Gender and Blaque. Both have wonderful videos that I will link in the description, of course. Listening to people actually talk about this movie is very important. The people impacted by this movie are Mexican people, people of color, and trans people, and we need to listen to those voices. Thank you for tuning into today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment below what your favorite part was, what your thoughts about Emelia Perez are, or suggestions for other films. Let me know what you thought. Again, leave comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!